A warning before you listen.
What you are about to hear is not meant for children, nor for the faint of heart. This is an unfiltered retelling of ancient myths, told as they were born, raw, violent, unsoftened. Expect scenes of brutality, curses that linger, betrayals that reshape fate, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. These myths were never meant to lull children to sleep. They were forged in blood, shadow, and fire. So ask yourself, are you ready to hear them as they were first told? Sources and references can be found in the episode description.
Chapter 6. From the Titans' Epic, Origins of Power and Makers of Tyranny. The union of Rhea and Cronus, a pact between the blade and the womb. On a moonless night, while the Titans crouched over their trembling bodies and the earth still bled from the wound of Uranus, Cronus stood alone, a silence so dense it felt like the massacre yet to come. The sickle in his hand was still hot, the wind carried the dying scream of a butchered sky. Everything was still, yet time churned inside him like a beast with no skin. He was now a king, not by scrolls, not by prophecy, but by a blade that erased the father's name from the face of the world. Yet sovereignty in the law of Titans was never sealed with steel, but with a woman. A throne does not stand until it is seated, and it does not take root until it touches a womb that knows no mercy. Rhea knew this. She didn't walk toward him as a bride, but as a storm tiptoeing across the bones of the earth. No crown, no veil, no smile, and yet as she passed, the ground itself trembled. Gaia watched her, not as a mother watches a daughter, but as the soil watches a seed it knows will be watered in blood. Rhea passed in silence, but even the air choked on her scent. She was not perfume, she was a warning. Cronus waited, not standing, but seated on a stone carved from blood. No crown, no scepter, only the look of hunger after a feast that failed to satisfy. He spoke with a voice forged of blood and waiting. It is time for the throne to take root. She answered without blinking. Roots are not planted in air, but in flesh. He took one step closer and whispered, Did you come to share the crown or to consume it? She replied, cold dripping from her lips. I came to give birth to what will consume you. He didn't laugh. He moved in. His breath was rough, his chest rising and falling like a battle that refused to end. You know who I am, he said. I know what you'll become, she answered. Their eyes met, not like lovers, but like warriors sealing a pact not in ink, but in skin. That night, no fire was lit, no hymn rose, no lyre played, but their bodies burned. He did not hold her like a woman. He clutched her like a prophecy, one he hoped to smother before it could explode. She did not offer herself like a wife. She gave herself like a map lined with traps, each curve hiding a vengeance too old to name. You are mine now, he whispered, dragging his hand along her back. No, she replied, gripping his wrist. I belong to the hell that will rip from my womb. When their bodies met, there was no warmth, only heat, raw and defiant. A clash of powers, not seeking pleasure, but permanence. The earth quaked, not from tenderness, but from the collision of a merciless king and a woman who bows to none. It was not flesh embracing flesh. It was war, not of the body, but of legacy. He thought he was forging a weapon, but she became the crack in the throne's foundation. He thought he was seeding a womb, but she was planting a curse. And when the breaths quieted and sweat cooled on their brows, there was no love, only a pact. You rule the sky, I carry what will one day bring it down. By morning, Cronus awoke a king, but beside him, Rhea slept without a smile, and inside her, the first bolt of lightning lay dormant, not born to love, but to detonate. From that night on, their marriage was no marriage. It was a crossing between blade and womb, and time began to count its breaths, waiting for the storm to be born. This chapter of the epic has come to an end, but remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why. We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time. Until then, farewell.